Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Comic Shop Talk on the Late Night Collectors community. I'm your host, Nico, and joined with me today, as always, my co-host, Chris. How you doing?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
Good, good. We hope you guys all had a great weekend out there. If you celebrate Easter, Easter weekend here, just passing here throughout Canada here for anybody who celebrates that. Shout out to you guys. Hope you had a great weekend. It was a good long weekend for us, so I'm happy about that much. And ready to talk some comics here at the end of the week here with Chris, as always. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel here, guys. This is your first time checking this out. This is our weekly comic book review show where we get together and talk about and review the books that we read each week. You could also follow us on Instagram for kind of like little like sneak peeks at like all of the comics that we pick up every week. Me and Chris just shoot little videos there for you guys and post them, and some quick comments and kind of like a look at the different covers that we've picked up and comics that we've picked up physically each week, because we don't we read a lot of things on the show. Some things we tend to read digitally over the physical release. So make sure to check that out if you want to kind of get a sneak peek of what we're picking up every week. And this week we're gonna be talking about the new comics that came out for the week of March 27th, 2024. And also, yeah, on Instagram it's at Late Night Collectors Community, if I failed to mention that. But yeah, talking about the new comics for the week of March 27th, 2024. And be forewarned, spoiler warning, as always, we are going to be showing off the art on these books and talking about what happens in the books. So if you're worried about getting spoiled, you can always read your books and come back. Check out our playlist of over 120 episodes here, and going strong here at Comic Shop Talk. And yeah, like and subscribe and all that good stuff, guys. All right, big week this week, and also we are also going to be showing off the solicitations for, I think, what is it, for July or June, I
June,
think,
maybe.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for Marvel and DC there at the end of the episode. So make sure to check that out as well. That's kind of where we go over things we're looking forward to checking out in the new solicitations that come out. The companies put out the solicitations ahead of schedule a couple of months to give you a sneak peek of what's coming out, so you can do your pre-orders. So we kind of let you guys know what we might be interested in picking up. So that's always a good time too. Didn't have time for it last week, and I'm in the middle of new setups over here as always with the computer. So hopefully, yeah, everything goes through here today good with the audio. So all right, Chris, that all
All
being
right.
said,
Well, that's it. Let's talk. Let's talk comics. Cheers.
talk some comics. Cheers. Still got those big cans over there, I see.
Yeah. So the small hands.
All right, guys. First up on the docket here today, we got Rise of the Powers of X #3. I think we got different covers for this one. I got this connecting cover, which I think it connects with the Fall of House of X. And Chris has got a variant one too. Let's take a
Yeah.
hold on. Hold that.
I think I ordered this variant cover wrong. I thought it was somebody else, but it's still a decent cover nonetheless.
There is a better cover out there that I did see, actually. I was gonna say I thought that you would have been snatching up the other one, honestly, but
So I
I
thought
think
there was
yeah,
a lyric recover or something, but I don't know.
yeah,
But anyways, what are you gonna do?
yeah. What'd you think?
I don't know. I didn't mind the comic. The story itself is good, but it's a wacky story. Like, I'm not sure I'm understanding this. Well, I'm understanding it, but whether it's necessary or not. I think where you got Professor X is going back to kill Moira McTaggart, I guess, before she becomes, or before her powers manifest. And like, I still don't understand these secret messages, that who's reading them, or if she's reading them, or what's going on with that. There's a lot going on, I guess, with the Dominions and all sort of that sort of stuff. And I guess it tries to explain it. And I guess the big takeaway is that is it Cypher? Or it's Cypher there at the end, that he sort of reveals that he's still under the influence of Sinister or something. And then
Yeah,
this plan that he sort of set Charles Xavier on, is one of the machinations of Sinister, and it's not a true plan. I think they try and pull the plug on this plan, but I think it might be too late or something by the end of it. It's still a good story, but that was a little wacky for me.
I'm with you. I am kind of feel like losing the thread a little bit, honestly. Just a little bit in terms of like what's going on in the book right now. That being said, the main focus for me this issue, and something that I really liked, was, yeah, they basically did like the "what if you killed Hitler as a baby" type of thing here. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of the way I took it. Professor X looks terrible right now. Like whatever's going on with him, like he's shooting people fucking left and right. But yeah, he goes to kill Moira. He kills somebody towards the end of this issue. It appears, and by the end of this, I don't think he's gonna come up come off like a great guy at the end of this event, honestly. I don't think he's gonna come out as a hero here. And I know that's been many people's opinion on Professor X for a while anyways, but he makes questionable choices. I think he's kind of a little bit like Beast in that way. Yeah, he shoots Rachel Summers in the fucking back here at the end. That's who he ends up shooting. So, I'm interested to see what happens next. I kind of quite liked the focus of those parts where he kept going back and talking to Moira as a child and questioning whether or not he should kill her. And it looked like he was going to, but then what's her name stopped him. The thing that keep forgetting her name, Rasputin, stopped him from killing Moira in the past. And that's kind of the way I looked at it. Was like it was kind of like something about like kind of like, oh yeah, if you had a chance to kill Hitler type thing. There's that whole idea of the baby Hitler kind of thing. Like, would you do it? Would you go back in time and do it? And people said like, there's all this theories on like anything really. If you do something and change the course of history, is it for the best or is it not, right? And there's other theories that it actually would end up worse, possibly, depending on how things pan out, right? So I mean, it's interesting, that whole line of thinking. So I thought that was kind of cool that he had the opportunity to kind of set things right, he thought, here, and actually put a stop to everything that's happened. And then Moira, I guess, would have run out of lives at this point, and maybe this would solve all the issues, right? But are the mutants not going to end up in somewhat of the same position that they always do? I think they would, right? So I don't know. It's interesting. Like, obviously, it's to save their timeline right now, what he's doing with the Orchis situation, but whether or not like something like that would stick, it's hard to say, right? And then basically he's a child murderer. So I don't know, man. It's pretty fucked up in a way. Like, I was like, holy shit. I'm like, what's this guy doing here, right? Like, and then he comes back and he kills fucking Rachel Summers, which he's like, I disagree with you, and he fucking shoots her in the fucking back. Rasputin kills the Cypher. It looks like the Cypher Sinister there for a moment, or at least puts a sword through him. There's some good stuff that happened by the end of this issue, but I agree with you. I don't necessarily understand everything either. I'm definitely losing the thread a little bit, but I still enjoyed it. I thought it looked great.
It's a good story all the way through, but it's just
some
wacky principles that they're trying to explain in there, I guess.
Yeah. So what'd you give this?
Let's look at a 3.75. I liked it.
I'll give it a 4. I still enjoyed it, I think, a little bit more than in that sense, because I did kind of just comics this week. I'm starting to learn, like, if I'm not understanding everything in a certain issue, I'm finding I'm just kind of attaching myself to like one plot point, like one really great scene in the issue where I'm just like, you know what, I really liked that part. Try to take away some of the good out of this, some of these issues, but sometimes it's just a mess. There's no salvaging. So, all right.
A few of those this week.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. We'll get to them. X-Force 50, the conclusion of this series. Benjamin Percy wrapping up one of his series that he's written the whole 50 issues of, actually. So yeah, kudos to him on that. At least that's no small feat, right? I mean, the guy writing any 50 issues for an ongoing series in superhero comics these days, you don't see that too often. So yeah, hats off to him for that, at least. What do you think of the ending, though, Chris?
I think it was rushed, personally. Like, they must have dropped the hammer on him, I guess maybe 2 or 3 issues out, say, hey, you're finished at 50. It's like, whoa, what do you mean I'm finished at 50? Because just a lot happens here. They spent so much time building up to this, and then it was over just like that. Like, it wasn't terrible, but you figure you could have more time with Beast and whatever, Wonder Man, trying to track him down. Like, they seem to find him pretty easily, whereas nobody could find him for the longest time. They had their little tete-a-tete there where they kind of, I guess it's the jaded Beast versus the young Beast there kind of mindset. And but otherwise it was good stuff. I like seeing even the old Beast when Wonder Man was there. He didn't kind of just attack him full out. He goes, he's still a friend. I think he just popped his his whatever, his tank, his air tank, and that kind of just sent him sort of out of the picture. And it was good seeing Wonder Man back and all this stuff. But just the other stuff, that was all decent. But I think I don't know if he dies, but he's involved in an explosion at the end. And so it looks like you got the new Beast going to be taking over for the old Beast, which isn't so bad.
Yeah, which is kind of cool because this is like the old beloved Beast before he kind of went all mad scientist essentially and made a bunch of fucking bad mistakes, and are questionable, let's say, like, moves over time. So their decisions, which, again, that's kind of what X-Force was. Originally they were the murder team of the X-Men, where Cyclops gave them missions and they would go out and execute the mission, like objectives, and end up killing somebody. So like they've always kind of lived in the gray area, the X-Force teams, like in recent years, anyways. Like not maybe back in the day with like Rob Liefeld period, but like for the last little while, that's kind of seemed to, even in this Krakoa era, they were the team that was tasked with taking out any threats that were going to come to Krakoa as a whole, like essentially, right? And they maybe made some questionable decisions as a result, especially the Beast. But I'm with you. I think like this whole great the lead up was really, really great. All these great moments with the Beast along the way over the last, I don't know, 15, 20 issues, however long he's kind of been in the mix. And then you get to this and it just felt very, rushed, or like a basic ass ending. Like, you get that whole kind of like something deep inside of him kind of like, came to the surface. He made a split-second decision. Somehow, I guess the friendship of Wonder Man was still like important to him enough to save this guy, even though it's like the old Beast who lost his way. Sorry, the current Beast that lost his way at some point, right? So yeah, I mean, that's, we've seen those type of endings and things before. So that's not like, it's not like he pulled some crazy fucking,
Yeah.
ending that we've never seen before or something like that. But it was, in that same sense, I'm with you. It wasn't a bad ending by any means. It's just, it was such a build up to get to this point. And then this wasn't even an oversized issue. It was a regular sized issue for 50th fucking issues of this series. So yeah, I guess whatever this ending was didn't fit into the larger grand scale.
I was expecting more at the end of this. Like it's not the end of an arc. It's the end of a whole series.
I know. So it was good. It was decent. It just I was expecting more as well. It did seem rushed in that sense. What did you give this?
I'll give it a 3.75. Good stuff.
Yeah, 3.75 out of 5. And honestly, like at least the second half of X-Force, which I've been reading after dropping it, like the last 20 issues or so at least, I think it's been a good run, this second half of the series. Yeah, it's been really good stuff. And then speaking of Ben Percy, Wolverine 46 this week, continuing the Sabretooth war. Yep.
Nice cover there. Got the Sabretooth operating on a Wolverine's head there. But I think this just plays into a lot of stuff that we have been talking about with Sabretooth just kind of yearning for the days of old when him and Wolverine would just go out and do what they do. And I think they really kind of put a light on that story in this one here, because even whatever that head he's carrying around, is that
Quinton Quire.
Quinton Quire. Yeah, he's even sort of commenting on it, and it did seem to touch a nerve with Sabretooth, because he's just tell him to shut up or he's going to leave him out there. So that was all kind of fun to see. And then I guess Sabretooth is starting to pull his strings here. I think he hits him with that forges weapon that depowers him. So looks like everything's coming up Sabretooth, and then they have had some of the other story on the orchestration with all the other Sabretooth variants. They're floating around in there. So you had some good scenes too with, I guess, X-23. I still don't understand those Sabretooths that had they had no heads. And they just, did you read this here? Yeah, like they had no heads there or something. And it was just kind of like some sort of controlling disc on them. But anyways, I guess
yeah, and Laura X-23, she got a hold of one of them. She fought one of them in the cell.
For that.
Yeah,
I think it's going to go down, I guess, between X-23 and the female Sabretooth there, which looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like this. I like you said, I mean, the fact that they're leaning into the whole bromance fucking part of this, which never came to be, is definitely an interesting and different angle. I'll give him that. I've never seen that before. Like, it is always about how Sabretooth's just trying to rip his guts out and how much he fucking hates him and this and that. And, he came from it a different approach here, I think, a little bit. Like, he's like, yeah, I hate this guy, but I still kind of miss how he used to be when we used to do missions together as part of Weapon X back in the day. And he's not that guy anymore. And let's be frank, like, no one else could keep up to my savageness except for this guy. So, like, I kind of like that angle. I kind of like that story. Like, the more you get into it, I'm like, you know what? That's something I feel like I've never seen. And we definitely have accused Benjamin Percy of playing the hits in terms of like, hey, let's turn this movie plot into a comic.
Yeah, what is this, 48 hours or something?
I think this is the plot from I Love You Man with Paul Rudd, Jason Segel,
Could be.
which is a movie I love. So I'm like, hey, I like this. So I don't know, man. I liked this. I'm liking this this whole. He's got a few. I mean, he's all in. He's gonna have had 10 issues to tell this story to conclude out this series because it's been double shipping. So let's hope they've given him enough room to kind of tell. Like, there's no excuse, in my opinion, for him to have known. Like, I'm going into it. This is a 10-issue story. I hope this ends up sticking the landing because I think this has been really good, honestly, and a good way to go out on the series. Quite frankly, yeah. So this good stuff. What'd you give this?
I give it 3.75 too.
Yeah, same. Duke number 4 this week. All right, you read this, Chris?
Yeah, I just read this one online, so I didn't really I didn't pull Duke on my solicits. They just been kind of giving it to me. Hey, I told the guy, hey, if you got another one, if you find one kicking around, I'll get it. But once again, this one here, they're still bringing out the hits here. Now, not so much with the characters, but, well, I guess Major Blood. We had a bit of history with him, how he loses his eye.
So Chris, sorry to interrupt. What's going on here? Got the wrong banner happening here. Late night chat. What the fuck is that business? Should have given me a heads up, man. What are you doing?
I didn't know this.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but like I said, it's some history on Major Blood, how he kind of loses his eye. It looks like that's because of Baroness. And, you kind of bringing up, like I said, they're kind of hitting that nostalgia button there at the end, I think, when they go down to the pit. I like the way why they sort of explain why they have all this old machinery there, or why they're using all these old weapons. Because, they've all been kind of mothballed down in the pit, and they got to bring them back out. So that sort of makes sense. And, I don't know, but the big reveal at the end with the bad android that was fighting Duke, that wasn't such a big reveal. But otherwise, I'm still feeling this series here and enjoying it.
Yeah, I like this series a lot. I mean, I think this is my outside of Transformers, as I mentioned, this is my favorite of the Energon stuff. And I think this has been consistently fun throughout the whole thing. And then we're I think it's only 5 issues. I think we're coming up on the last issue next issue. And this has been just like a nonstop kind of thrill ride, action packed comic. And I think my only complaint about it is that it usually I end up reading it too quick. And it's always leaves me wanting more, which I think is a good thing, honestly. Like, I think it's the pace of it has been good. This is the type of kind of vibe I think you kind of want with this title. And it's interesting to see as these different titles have come out with the Energon universe stuff that they have had at least different tones to them, and they don't all feel the same. Like Cobra Commander is kind of like weird and sci-fi at times. This is kind of like your action kind of story, and Transformers, I think, was a bit of both at this point, honestly, like probably a little bit of that, both those tones. But yeah, it's been enjoyable, man. And I think the art's really sharp. I think he does a really good job, and Tom Riley, and I look forward to the conclusion next issue.
Yep.
If this is something you guys missed out in issues, I would suggest picking up the trade because it's definitely worth it, in my opinion. And you don't really need to know too much about G.I. Joe. Like I know Chris knows more about G.I. Joe than I do, but I'm still enjoying it as well. So it's good. Just a good story. What'd you give this, Chris?
Yeah. I'll hit this with a 4.
I'm gonna go 3.75 as well on this week. I think out of 5 for that one. All right, next up we got, now that we got our right banner up here in the background, I don't know what the hell that late night chat networking business was there. I hope they don't watch these episodes.
Trying to do some cross promotion,
Yeah, well, we are the spinoff of the Late Night Chat Network, guys, but we are the B channel with the A content. Remember that. That's going to be the title of the episode now. I don't want to get out. Those guys don't watch our shows anyway, so they won't know that happened. Let's not talk about that. They're like, hey, what's up? You using our banner over there now? All right. Power Girl number 7, Chris.
Yeah, I just read this one online. I've been following the story, and yeah, this was not a brutal. The story was decent, I guess. They got Power Girl and Supergirl. I was sort of looking forward to seeing them teaming up, and what they had in store for them. Now they're stuck in some freaking pocket world or some alternate dimension where they lost their powers. And once again, the art style is not something I was too impressed with. The story was relatively decent, but it was just too. I don't know. The tone was more like, I guess, like that Harley Quinn animated series sort of thing. It's kind of jokey and that just wasn't wasn't what I was expecting out of the series itself. It didn't sort of start out that way, and then it just kind of took a turn for this. So it was a decent read, but that's just not my bag. I give this a 3.5.
All right. Next up, we got Incredible Hulk number 10. Bring this up here.
Once again, I just read this one online too. I think I've sort of dropped the Hulk, and this issue. Really, I didn't miss not having it. I think they have a new guest artist for this. So even one of the big reasons we did enjoy when we first started out was the Nick Klein, I think, was doing it. And he had some decent art behind him, so you can kind of forgive a wacky story. But even I don't even know like how the Hulk sort of operates in this one, like as to what sort of level of intelligence he has, because the earlier ones he just seemed to be just kind of grunting, but it's still kind of comprehend things. This one here, I don't know, he's talking with a ghost the whole time or something, and he just seems to be he's almost seemed to be almost normalized again, where he figures he can talk to him rationally and he's not going to go freaking berserk on you. And I don't know, and then I don't know, he's hunting some ghost or something that's taken his little sidekick there, and he's just trying to find out where she is and get her back. And then they're going back into history of all these murders that supposedly this frozen Charlotte or this spirit or ghost, whatever it is responsible for. So I don't know. It's not really a Hulk story that you'd want.
Mm-hmm.
And I give that it's 3.25.
Yeah, that's why I dropped it. Doesn't seem like a Hulk story I was looking to read. Next up, we got Black Hammer, the End, number 6. Got that right here. And this is the end of the end, and the end of Black Hammer at Dark Horse. And at the end of the issue, it said Jeff Lemire had written that it was 2014 to 2024, so 10 years that he spent doing this book at Dark Horse, which I didn't even realize. I mean, I knew it was a long time. I thought maybe it was like several years. And mind you, the last couple of years, he barely put anything out. Like it kind of, like I felt like there was a year that at some point where there wasn't anything, and then he came back and put out this last mini series. So yeah, listen, I really, really love this series. I love Jeff Lemire as a creator. He's a guy here, lives in Toronto, met him many times. Nice guy. Love a lot of his work. We literally just talked about Fish Flies a couple of weeks ago. Black Hammer was one of my favorite books for years. I just think that this is one of those things where I just think it got a little bit long in the tooth here towards the end, and he could have ended it a couple of years ago, and I would have been fine with that. Unfortunately, I just felt like less invested in this world and this story and everything going on with this last miniseries out, but I still double dip. I pick up the oversized hardcovers when they release these, so one day I will sit back and I'll reread all of this, and I'm sure I'll really enjoy it thoroughly, but I just, it definitely just, towards the finish line here, it kind of like it was a little too drawn out for me, and I lost a little bit of my interest, honestly. And that's unfortunately sometimes that's just the case with monthly comics. And you're waiting a long time for this 6-issue series to come out, and this is him just kind of capping everything off here. So without getting into everything that kind of happened here, it was like a crisis level event. They take down a big bad, different multiversal versions of these characters came to help out. They all banded together. They ended up taking it out. It's kind of a happy ending for everyone. And then by the end of it, they kind of seems like they formed like a new team essentially with a new Black Hammer, with like which basically is going to be like the new Justice League, let's say, in their Watchtower, station headquarters at the end here. And from what I've heard, he said he might take this elsewhere, might do it digitally online, or might take it to another publisher. So he said, I think there might be hope for this coming out again in the future, but he is exclusive to Image currently. And he made a deal with Dark Horse, I think, when he signed that exclusive deal like a year or two ago, whenever it was, that he can put out this final mini series over there. And then the future of Black Hammer, I think, is going to be up in the air now. So basically, for anybody who doesn't know, this was basically like essentially like his love letter, his homage of all his favorite like superhero comics. Essentially, he created his own versions of characters he loves from DC, mostly DC and Marvel, and kind of created like this Justice League in this world. And there's a bunch of stuff that are different, or you could see certain characters and be like, oh, okay, that's his version of this character, or Doctor Strange or whatever. And yeah, so sometimes there's just new characters he made up that didn't feel like other characters. So it was a hell of a lot of fun and a great series. And like I said, I think he stuck the landing. I don't think it was a bad ending. I just lost as much interest as I had years ago when this was originally coming out. And these last couple of years, he just wasn't enough of it coming out, I think, to justify this ending or get me super interested in this. I think he could have ended it a little while ago, but otherwise, good stuff. And still, this was a good issue, and he stuck the landing. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 this week. I think it was good. I just like I said, I made my comments on that. I don't want to make it seem like I hated on it. Again, one of my favorite books for years when it was coming out. 10 fucking years this book was coming out, which is a creator-owned title. So really great stuff. Next up, we got Batman Dark Age #1. This is kind of like a sequel of sorts to like Superman Space Age #1, the miniseries that they did with the same writer and artist, Mark Russell writing, Mike Allred on art. And they kind of showed Batman in that series. So I guess they kind of wanted to do more stories, like alternate takes on their on DC characters. So Superman Space Age was kind of like a retold Superman origin, with him showing him through different times through the years, like with referencing like different American kind of history, essentially like Americana type moments, popular moments that happen with like presidents, and like I think they showed the start of the Beatles, like just shit like that, like random stuff like that they wanted to highlight in that book, and kind of Superman kind of living through those times. And it was a pretty good series. I really, really enjoyed it. And this is kind of like Batman, again, an alternate take on the classic origin, slightly tweaked. And at the start, it opens up to like this, I guess, futuristic kind of like Gotham City, and it shows him fighting guys with like this like weird like futuristic kind of architecture in Gotham. And then it kind of cuts to him being an old man, like Bruce Wayne as an old man in the old folks home, and someone letting him know that like you should start documenting your life, or maybe write some stuff down. And he's on meds, and maybe his memory's not as good as it used to, so he's trying to like put these stories together. And I guess us as the reader are now kind of along for the ride as they kind of cut away from this into showing him talk about like his exploits, essentially like him like being Batman and how he became Batman and what happened, as I guess his adventures. And I guess that's kind of going to be the journey moving forward for the 6-issue miniseries this time around. I'm a huge Mike Allred fan. I really like his art. It's not for everybody. I'm a big fan of it. And this was weird. Like they kind of showed like the origin of his parents getting killed, but there's like this weird, like different type of cult people that wear these weird masks that killed them instead of like the Joe Chill thing. And then Bruce becomes like a delinquent. Like it kind of talks about like because of his parents getting killed, he could be the fact that he has money, and Alfred is the only one that becomes his guardian that has to look over him. He becomes a shithead and like gets gets into trouble all the time. They have to keep paying off the cops, and he's doing all this stuff. And he's getting into trouble, but doing teenager stuff, like going out and getting drunk and like, maybe starting some shit or whatever. And whenever something happens or he ends up getting brought up on charges as a minor, like they just pay everybody off in the court. And he's able to do this because he's rich, right? He comes from a rich family. And meanwhile, there's all this talk about how he's going to take over the company when he turns 18. Anyways, by the end of this issue, what ends up happening is he turns 18, he ends up in jail. Something happens where he like his legal counsel doesn't actually show up, and then he gets stuck in fucking jail, and he loses the rights to his company because there was like a clause in it that says that he can't, like, something like that can't happen to him. And if it does, like, they're gonna have to give up majority of the company to somebody else. So now there's like that secret or this evil organization that killed his parents are running the fucking company. So I don't know. It's definitely a different take on stuff. I don't. I'm still kind of sorting out my feelings on it overall, but I kind of, I'm along for the ride. I did really enjoy it. He came across Catwoman in like the police station, and she was in there too, and he's chatting her up, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, don't worry, I'll take care of your bail or whatever, I'll get you out of trouble. And he turns to Alfred because Alfred shows up, and he turns back and she's gone, like the cuffs are just attached to like the chair, and she was able to escape. So yeah, so it's kind of cool. And then like he goes to a comedy club one day. I think they're maybe setting up the Joker. I'm not sure. And there's a comedian on stage at the comedy club who's telling jokes, and he talks with them after the show, and he likes his stuff. So I don't know what that's about. I'm guessing that's going to be the Joker, but who knows? But other than that, there's really no indication other than the comedian aspect. If you like that part of the Joker, that theory on his origin, right? So, anyways, yeah. So good stuff. I liked it. I'm in for more, and it's definitely a little bit different with Mike Allred art. Overall, though, because it gave me a lot to chew on, but I'm not sure I love everything, every detail, every decision they've done so far. I'll give it a 3.75 out of 5 this week. All right. And then very quickly, the Goon, Them That Don't Stay Dead, number 1. I like the Goon. This is a series that I guess has come back to Dark Horse Comics. He went and like started his own label, and I guess was independently publishing this for a while. But this is a comic that he did at Dark Horse Comics for years and years and years. I bought all the collected editions of this series. And I just realizing now with the black and white background, maybe not the best to show off this comic. I should have changed it for color for that. But this is all done in pencils and like I guess like shading. He puts like shading on it, and it's all done in black and white, no color. And yeah, it's just about this character, the Goon, that lives in this fucking city. It was like a big, brawler type guy. Kind of looks like that buddy from Superman that works down at the docks, Bibbo or whatever. Kind of looks like him, reminds me of him. And from like the Death of Superman and stuff like that. And I don't know, it seems like it takes place back in like, I don't know, like the 1940s at times, and then other times it feels more modern, but like all these monsters always come down to like his city that he has to fight. And there's so many weird different elements. It has like old time movie type stuff in it, and like old like Universal Monster type kind of stuff that happens sometimes in it. It's just a weird amalgamation, it seems like, of Eric Powell, the artist and writer of this series, like interests. So it's an interesting book, and it's hard to describe. But it's basically, if you like Hellboy, I think you would like this book. It kind of deals with a lot of paranormal type of stuff. And there's a chick that he ends up meeting at the bar in this issue that he ends up hooking up with in a broom closet. And then by the end of it, there's like some voodoo type of like, I don't know, thing happening, and it brings back to life some people that are like zombie creatures that end up killing her. And it's basically up to him to like save his town as always. So this was a nice kind of I didn't see it coming. I read it online this week, and I didn't know it was coming out. And I guess he's returned to Dark Horse now with the book, and he's putting out a new mini series. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll check this out. And I'm sure I'll buy the collection when it comes out because I have all the rest of the Goon books. So I gave this a 3.75 out of 5 this week. All right, Chris, Daredevil number 7.
Yeah, I just read this one online. I sort of dropped this a few issues ago.
Same.
All I can say, I thought it was a good looking comic. And, with Wolverine there, you'd expect some fireworks, but right off the bat, once you find out Wolverine is possessed, that just kind of blew the story for me. So it's not a true Wolverine, Daredevil battle, although they do fight. And how Daredevil gets rid of whatever the demon that's inside Wolverine. He takes him into the lake or into the water, and then the whatever the demon just decides to take off and says, "Oh, I'll come back get you later." And then they go back to this bar with no name and kind of chill out for a bit. That's like that. The story kind of left me a bit unimpressed, let's say. Especially once again expecting so much. When you see Wolverine and Daredevil get together.
Yeah, like you, I dropped this book as well, and I'm not necessarily going to continue reading it, but like you said, this was the Daredevil Wolverine issue. And, listen, Wolverine's been possessed like fucking 20 times like over the years. Like that's not nothing new either. But I got to say, for a fighting issue, Aaron Kuder, the artist on this, did fucking kill it. Like you said, the art was good. And for me, it kind of gave me everything I wanted this issue, honestly. Like, there wasn't much of a story. The story is the same bullshit we were dealing with before, with different sins or whatever possessing these guys, and like he's having to take them down. And they even kind of touched on the stupidness with him being a priest still towards the end of the issue. All that stuff doesn't work for me. That all being said, there's a whole fucking moment here where he looks bloody as fuck. It looks like his suit's red essentially, even though it's white, because they beat the shit out of each other. I dug this. I liked the fight. I liked the art. I thought that the choreographing, but basically like the whole fight sequences that he drew, he fucking killed it. Even like even I'll go back to the first page here. Even like the kind of the start where it shows like the hands, like and just like the middle panel, like and it shows both their like fists on like with the bat and the fucking claws. I thought the whole layout of the fighting and everything in this issue was great. Honestly, I think he knocked it out of the park. For that alone, I liked this issue. But that being said, like you said, the story is baloney still, and I'm not going to be reading this anymore. But it was nice to kind of just jump in once again and just kind of read this one issue and get a good fight at least in the Daredevil comic, because I think that's what. Although then it ended and fucking Elektra shows up, so now I don't know. I was a little conflicted. I was like, oh man, Elektra. I was like,
yeah, but it's going to be garbage. This writing is just total garbage. They could have found a real good reason for Wolverine and Daredevil to fight. This could be like a freaking 5-star #1 book that I'd have to run out to get. But as soon as they saw that freaking whatever though, the flames around his word bubble, it's like, oh come on, are you serious? Get out of here.
What'd you give this then?
I'll give it a 3.5.
You know what? I'm gonna. Yeah, just
bad story. But like I said, the art is great. Like the fight scenes are great, but that's all just fluff.
Looking past the bad story, I'm gonna give this a 4. That's how much I like the art and the fighting sequences. That's how much I like that part. But Chris is right. There's no redeeming factors to this story, and I will not be continuing to read it once again. But if you want to look at good art, if you can find this book just to flip through it, there were some good scenes, or just look at the art I just put up and enjoy it that way. Because like, yeah, it is really fucking good. Like, I think he knocked it out of the park this issue. It's just, you're right.
I think it's a wasted effort. If they had a real reason to fight, then that would like freaking throw the stock of this book way up in the air. Like it'd make it a 5-star book. Well, they're fighting for no reason.
You make a good argument. Yeah, I can't disagree with you what you're saying. I'm just liking it for other reasons, I guess, in that sense. But yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. Yeah. Thunderbolts #4, the conclusion of this mini series.
Yeah, I just jumped in and read this just online. I had Doom on the cover. I see what's happening. And it was an okay story, I guess they're trying to fight the Red Skull. And it starts out with Doom sort of threatening the Thunderbolts. Hey, there's no Red Skull activity on Latveria. Don't come here. You're not allowed to be here. But of course, they decide to go in there anyways, and they kind of fight. Then they have that sort of Doom -8 or whatever. I don't know if that's time or how long it takes before that Doom got there. And, that countdown there I thought was kind of interesting. But by the time I got close to the end of the countdown, I figured kind of what they were up to is they were just trying to buy time until Doom got there, and then Doom just fries Red Skull, which I thought those people should have been able to fry him anyway. It's not like he's coming there with a bunch of chumps. That's a pretty strong team that he's got going after Red Skull. So I didn't really enjoy that part that, they had to have the Red Skull destroy the whole team with, whatever Red Skull does, which I don't know what he does, but But it was kind of good that when they did escape to some sort of pocket dimension there, and then Bucky Barnes gets the call from Doom. Hey, Doom kind of gives him, hey, what are you doing to me here? I don't like being used. And he tells him, oh, you're not used. You're now a Thunderbolt too.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
kind of, a little twist on what's going on. You don't see Doom, the kind of wool getting pulled over Doom's eyes too often. So that was nice to see.
Yeah, I liked this miniseries. I thought it was a nice little miniseries, a different take on the Thunderbolts. I really liked the individual characters that were on the team. I thought like there's a lot of really good characters on this team, and the ending was all right. It wasn't anything spectacular, but I think it was a good little miniseries, 4-issue series. Check out the trade if it sounded interesting to you guys. But like I said, it felt like basically like almost like a Captain America-esque type team, but they had some interesting kind of wild card characters on there you normally wouldn't see. Like, you had Shang-Chi on there. Like Chris
Yeah.
said, Doom was in this last issue, assisting unbeknownst to him to their whole kind of overall plan to take out the Red Skull. So yeah, there was some interesting stuff going on in this series, and I did enjoy it. And I think overall I'd give like the mini series a 3.75 out of 5. I've almost read like all the Thunderbolts series. I like the concept of the Thunderbolts. And this is just a different take on it. Like every Thunderbolt series that ends up coming out, like they go from like it's a villain team to like it's a bunch of like rogue type
Yeah.
people,
It
or
depends
like
who's running the Thunderbolts.
yeah. What'd you give this out of 5, Chris?
I'll give it 3.75. I
Same.
got to have much
Yeah,
contact to draw upon, but that was okay.
yeah, yeah. All right, Local Man Bad Girls #1, Chris.
I picked up this issue here. I got that somewhere here. A little bit of a 90s throwback cover.
Yep.
And a bit of a 90s throwback in the issue, too. I kind of like that sort of different art styles through it. I think in the beginning, it's more of the regular art style that's been going through the Local Man series. And then I think Neon has a flashback to, I guess, some of the third gen days. And then it moves back into almost that 90s sort of over the top art style, which was kind of fun to see. And the story, once again, I'm not too familiar with all the third gen and fourth gen and all the players that were in this comic, but so it's good to get a nice bit of history there. It does explain, some of the stuff that's been going on in the Local Man series, so it kind of gives you a different point of view as what happened there. And, it was a decent read. I enjoyed it. It was easy on the eyes. So what's there to complain about? Not much.
No, yeah, I liked it. I like these kind of one shots that they do in between arcs, like the Local Man Gold and the Local Man Bad Girls now. Like these one shots are kind of like, trying to be reminiscent of the 90s with these gimmicks. But at the same time, they not only tell you a one and done story from the past, usually, they also kind of update you on all the things that are happening in the current storyline in the book. So they kind of serves two different purposes in that sense. And I think they're successful when they do these one shots. I quite enjoy them. I think they're good.
Yeah, it's better than having a manual that has nothing to do with the story that's going on.
Yeah.
And you kind of this is sort of a new world to me. I don't know, like Local Man's all there, been around much before, but it does kind of flesh out this world a bit more. Like it makes the world bigger, let's say.
Yeah, and just like Local Man Gold, where they had like a bunch of the old classic Image characters show up, they did have a lot. There was a 2-page spread here of all like a bunch of the women characters from the Image books as well. Like you have Witchblade here. That's the
Yeah,
girl from
that part of the no, that was part of the story too, where everybody, all the men in the world, kind of got snapped out of existence. So I thought
right.
that was kind of a nice device to kind of get everybody together here.
And like that was a period through the 90s too, was like, you have the extreme kind of era stuff, which is like, the whole Image, like that was like, I think more so in the last issue, the Local Man Gold, they kind of exhibited that. And then in this, there was a whole Bad Girls period in comics in the 90s where like, yeah, you had all like the TNA type covers and characters and artists drawing them and stuff like that. And a lot of these characters here, like Witchblade and stuff like that, that was just a pure fucking comic that was meant to like, you know what I mean, exhibit this girl in this like, like basically half nude in her costume. And yeah, like you said, there's nothing wrong with that. These are still some of these characters popular to this day that are part of this, and I like how they are able to bring them back in this issue and kind of reference that and say like, hey, these guys are all within the same universe and stuff like that, which I think is
Yeah.
kind of cool, honestly. So,
That's part of comic history, and if you forget history, you're doomed to repeat it.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. So good stuff. Good stuff on this
And I did
issue.
like that sort of gallery they had at the end as well, with those kind of
Yeah.
faded pictures. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't pull the art for that, but yeah, there was like a nice like kind of gallery and like pinup type section as well as like bios essentially on like a lot of the characters in here,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. So yeah, good stuff. What'd you give this out of 5 then, Chris?
Yeah, I give it a 3.75.
Same. Yeah. But yeah, Local Man, I mean, you could kind of just, you can check out this one shot, but there's going to be a bunch of stuff you don't really know about the ongoing storyline that they reference in here. So you're going to be a little lost, I would say, on this one. But it might get you interested in the series. So I'll say maybe check it out in that sense too.
Yeah, the series has
So
been great.
yeah, it has been. Yeah. Zorro, Man of the Dead #3 this week. All right, Chris, what'd you think of this?
Yeah, I just rated this one, and this one still been, firing on all cylinders. Good story, great art. It's kind of a wacky story in the sense that this kid thinks he's Zorro, which kind of wouldn't really make sense right off the top, but they still seem to make it work. And they added some new characters, that El Sanitario or whatever, that also have some sort of wacky history behind them. And they're trying to fight the cartel. So yeah, it's good stuff. It's an enjoyable read, and having that Zorro name attached to it, I think it's almost weakens it, but it's good.
Man, Sean Murphy just keeps getting fucking better. This is probably like the best thing I feel like he's ever drawn, and I hope people go and check this out because, like you said, it is a Zorro book. I have no fucking interest at all in Zorro, but I do like Sean Murphy's work, so that's what brought me here to check this book out. And then Chris along for the ride too. He kind of jumped on when he heard me talking about it. He's been reading it, and I gotta tell you, like you said, it's a good fucking story. It's a good story. I had no interest in this character, and it's honestly some of the best stuff I've seen Sean Murphy do. Like, he's looked great on those Batman White Knight series, but I would argue he fucking looks better in this issue. Like, there's some really, I mean, this is like, I guess, something that he really wanted to do. It's more of a creator owned kind of thing, even though it's based on an existing IP, like a character that's out there already. But this is not like something that DC hired him to do, and I just think he's knocking it out of the park. Like,
Yeah,
there's so many great fucking panels in this, and
yeah,
it's
it's something that nobody asked for. I'm sure he probably shopped this idea. I want to do a freaking story about Zorro. Like, yeah, get out of here, punk. What
like
do you want?
like look at this. You know how fucking like hard it is to draw like horses and shit. I'm sure for these artists, he's just like not like he's drawing cars and horses and fucking all the weaponry and like yeah, it's just amazing. Like it's just a really it's honestly probably the best looking book I read this week. He's really fucking good. So like I was reading it, so I was like, holy shit! Like, in a couple of parts of this book, I'm like, this looks so great, and then the storytelling's there, and yeah, great stuff. I just can't yeah, I can't stress that enough. This is like there was a couple times while reading this issue this week while I was like, wow, he's looking really fucking good on this series. I hope people check it out. I think there's only one more issue to go. I think next issue is the last one. I think it's only like a 4-issue mini series, but it's been a tight told storyline so far, and I'm looking for the conclusion. It really leaves on a pretty crazy cliffhanger where looks like Zorro is not going to survive the day here. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but yeah, what'd you give this, Chris?
I'll give it a 4. This is good stuff.
Yeah, I think I might even give it 4.25. Either 4, verging on 4.25 out of 5. Just because, again, I got to give it an extra bump because of the art. The story is solid, but yeah, I just think I'm a big fan of his, and I think this is some of his best work. So I'll give it 4.25. All right, Chris, Harley Quinn 38. Finally out of the last story arc of this series. Moving on now. And with we get Sweeney Boo is not the artist on this issue, I think, for the first time in quite some time. What do you
Yeah,
think?
they just brought somebody else that's freaking just as bad. Well, spoiler alert. But I did get the Women's History Month cover. I kind of bought this cover blind from Zozomaki, but it's
Yeah.
a sweet cover.
Yeah, very cool.
Right there, that's a 5-star cover if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
But you know what they say, the 5-star cover in a freaking 2-star book. Unfortunately, I'm happy the story is over, the story, I guess, made the story's a little more decent than it has been recently. It's what Harley Quinn's birthday. They kind of, I guess Ivy sets up a party for her, and then the true president was at the end. They get to go do some, I don't know, they try and mask this villainy as or these good deeds as villainy because you're going to a chocolate factory that's run by eco-terrorist or something. And then she's hanging out with those, I don't know who those two people were, those two villains there, and she helps them take down some more of these chocolate factory executives, and to study them and whatever. I don't know where that storyline's going, but it wasn't all that interesting. But I'm surprised that one person got shot. I thought that was a bit of a grittier tone for a comic that's the art style is more light and bubbly and things like that. But I wasn't a fan of the art style. I did enjoy the story a bit more, and I did like the ending there with Bree showing up to kind of barter a deal with Ivy or with Harley.
Yeah, then they had like a Looney Tunes-esque kind of backup story that was like straight up in animation style, like and the jokes were basically just straight out of like a fucking Bugs Bunny cartoon.
They can double down and take a bad idea, just even make it worse.
I didn't hate the art, but like you, it's not my favorite. That being said, I am happy that we're out of that last storyline. I didn't love this issue still, despite that. The backup story was a little weaker than I think they have been recently. And also, I will say the only redeeming factor of this current storyline is the fact that I think it's interesting that they're trying to show that maybe Harley is going to become like a straight up bad guy again by the end of this, or that she might just, for a time being or something. I don't know. We'll see. But it's an interesting idea. I mean, it has been a while since Harley has been she's kind of been like an anti-hero for like a while. And then I would say from anti-hero to straight up just a good guy. Like she's been not a bad guy in the comics for some time now, based off the popularity of the character. The only time I think you'd ever see her maybe doing some fucking messed up stuff is in a Suicide Squad comic at this point, right? So, and even then maybe not so much, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if this story's got legs like that much, but it's a step in the right direction somewhat, I think, away from that last storyline, which was just terrible. So
but even for a one-off story, Harley Quinn's birthday, if they had a freaking decent artist in this, there's so much more you could do with all the people that were there at the party, and it's freaking all stick figures almost. It's freaking another. I know where Jughead. I'm surprised they didn't put Jughead in the background there of the party. Just have Archie, Betty, and Veronica there too. I think.
I love how you relate more cartoony art to Archie all the time. It's really great.
Well, that's what this one looks like. This looks like an Archie comic.
Yeah, for sure. No, I just think it's funny that that's your, like, whenever there's like a more cartoony art. I like.
Well, Casper the Ghost or Richie Rich. I don't know. You can go back to those old comics. This Hanna-Barbera we're looking at here is freaking DC Harley Quinn.
The Harvey comics, yeah. No, I'm not even saying it as a bad thing. I just think it's funny because, like, from doing the show with you or talking about comics with you as long as I have now, like, I know that somewhat of the art styles you don't like, and cartoony is not good in your books. Like, you don't like cartoony art at all, right? I find, like, which you like more. I say like more realistic looking art. I would say usually, right? Like more hyper realistic kind of looking art.
Just right? Effort. Like even like the local man, that's not a realistic art, but every panel's effort. The fish flies, that's a very simple art style, but freaking each panel is done. It's not like they do the fucking face with just dots for the eyes and that's sort of, I don't know, the anime style or whatever they're trying to go for. It's brutal.
Yeah. What'd you give this then out of 5?
Yeah, it's 3.25, 3.
Yeah, I'll have to give it a 3.25 as well. Maybe verging of 3.5, but yeah, it's still not great. Anyways, next up we got Ultimate Spider-Man number 3 as we go into our Spider-Man block to end out the show here.
Yeah, you imagine if Ultimate Spider-Man was done by this artist? This comic would be garbage.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I got the Mike Del Mundo variant cover here, with shows him doing his laundry, kind of like an homage to
Yeah,
the
that's not a bad cover.
Spider-Man No More kind of cover, where he
Yeah.
throws it in the trash can. You know, there's one I'm talking about, where he throws the fucking the
Oh,
costume in
speaking
his
about
stomach.
that, over the weekend there was some J. Scott Campbell had some variant issues, I think, for Ultimate Spider-Man #4. They had 3 covers that were reimaginings of I guess his kind of Spider-Man Holy Grail trio of
Okay.
the 601, 602 or whatever, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
603. I
Yeah.
tried to get in on that, but fuck, they were sold out like by the time the thing started. Couldn't get in
Was
on
this
that, but
was this online? Like he was selling
yeah, he
them,
was
or
selling it through his store. Like I think it was limited
shit?
to like 2,000 copies or something like that.
Yeah, fuck. Too bad. That would have been a nice pickup. Yeah, those are nice covers for sure. I know you like those. As do I. I like J. Scott Campbell. But what do you think of this comic here?
Yeah, it was okay. Nothing. Well, I guess some big things did happen in here, but I guess Spider-Man gets his red and white costume. I kind of like the fan service there, where he tries out some of the older costumes, and they kind of have hints or memories of some of his previous stuff. I guess there you have the Scarlet Spider. Even the blue one there kind of reminds you of the Fantastic Four suit that he's with.
Mhm.
So that was nice to see. Of course, the Venom symbiote costume, but somehow they decide to come to the blue and yellow, or I mean blue and yellow, the blue and red.
Yeah.
I guess that's one big beat of the story there, and then the second was, I guess, him teaming up with Harry Osborn, and I kind of was funny that he goes, Harry Osborn recognized the costume, and he goes, oh, that might be from my company, and he's got some backdoor codes to that there, and it was good to see. Then I guess they're not playing off the Green Goblin as a villain right off the bat, but we'll see where that goes.
I gotta say, I also really love this fucking Ben Parker and J. Jonah Jameson starting their own company, and they have this fucking building, and it's a dump, and they're like
Yeah,
trying to like start a company from the ground up. They're like, yeah, this is a pretty fucking stupid idea that we tried, and we've tried to do this here. And Peter comes by with the plan, and he's like, oh yeah, this place needs some work. Like, he's
yeah,
like, oh, here's a plan, and like, yeah, it's just like the whole place is just like an abandoned fucking like building. I just like the full floor is just looks terrible, and then he kind of gives them some idea, some intel, like maybe get them going for like some juicy kind of news stories about what the Green Goblin attacking all of Kingpin's hideouts, and it looks like, at least for now, that the Green Goblin could be a good guy in this universe. So, yeah, and then he does a stakeout. I gotta tell you, I don't know what it is. Like you said, nothing crazy happens. Maybe in this issue, or maybe even the other issues in terms of like the events of it. I just love spending time in this book,
yeah.
like in this world, and with this character, this version of it, this Hickman. That it's the most fucking, like, I've never seen Jonathan Hickman write like a book like this, like his approach on this, where it's like it's not. There's
Yeah,
no
it's not
fucking.
heavy. I think it'd be like freaking,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
God there or something, like where you don't even know what he's talking about. He's
Even
trying to explain like the freaking history of the world or something.
Yeah, even the Ultimate Invasion miniseries that was the lead-in into this series was like that. There's no fucking diagrams anywhere. Like, you know what I mean? There's none of that shit. Like, I'm just like all in on this fucking title, man. Like, I just love spending time with this book, like in this
Yeah,
world with these characters. So, yeah, it's just it's at that point now where like every time I read the issue, and there's a few things we currently read that's like that for me. This is one of them. Like, nothing, they can literally just have conversations this whole book, and I'll be like, oh, that was a delight to read. You know what I mean? Like, I just, like, I don't know. It's good times, man. I love this book. It's a great fucking book. Marco. So I just heard, though, sadly, because I was going to say Marco Cicchetto is fucking destroying it on the art on this book. He's not drawing the next 2 issues. Like, this guy's apparently such a big fucking draw. They can't even get him to agree to doing a first arc.
yeah,
Which pisses me off. Like, they have a decent artist doing the next couple issues, which is fine, but like, I just think that like he's been great on this title, and I'm like,
yeah. It's too
any
soon.
issue,
Like if they got him, they should have got him for at least 12 issues. You can't change the artist this quick or
you
this soon.
know. This is the problem with like monthly titles, when like from the big 2, though. Like, if this was an
Yeah,
Image book, the guy might be like, hey, listen, my artist is behind, I need an extra month. Okay, yeah, no problem. You know what I mean? Like this,
yeah,
it's like, oh no, we got to churn out another issue in a month. So it's just like, okay, this guy is behind. Let me just bring in this other artist. And
Yeah.
sometimes they bring in artists that complement each other. Sometimes they bring in other really good artists too. Sometimes you refer the other artist to the artist they originally put on the book, right? But like, I really like Chichetto on this title, and to hear another artist is going to be coming up, I'm just like, I fucking groaned. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, you can't even get this guy on 5-6 issues, even the first arc, because the first
Yeah,
trade
for sure.
paperback is, yeah, like it's going to be 6 issues. Get him on the first arc, man. Like, you bring him in for 3 fucking issues, like such a tease. So, anyways, what'd you give this?
I got a 4.25. It's still friggin' hitting on every cylinder.
Same. Good stuff. Jackpot and Black Cat #1.
Yeah, I didn't have high hopes for this one either, but I think they're coming out with good covers, so that's going to get me through the
Yeah,
series at least.
yeah.
But the art I think was decent inside. At least it's nothing terrible. It's better than maybe what's going on in a current Amazing Spider-Man title with the regular artist. But you know what? The story here with I think it was a phone thing and somebody's whatever. It's I know there's some app that goes on there and it forces you to do things or they're going to hurt your family. It was okay. I kind of liked how I still don't see how freaking Mary Jane is reaching out to Black Cat as a hero. Like I can understand you to talk to her as, hey, a friend, and what's going on, but oh, don't worry, Black Cat, I got you on this. I'm a super powerful hero now or something, which is crazy. Like especially with their power set there, you never know what's going to happen. So that takes a bit of something to get over. I figured the story would be more Black Cat pulling Mary Jane out of the fire, not the other way around. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I wanna make it clear, like, it's not so much a beef with me in terms of her becoming a hero now. Okay, that's fine, whatever, but it's that she's just adapted to it so quickly that, like, that's for me, like, the big issue here is that she's had, like, no struggle, it seems like.
Yeah, and it's such a
And
lousy power set. Like, oh, I can fly now, and then no, but
and
it hits there, and she can fly perfectly.
And between this and the next book we're gonna talk about, Amazing Spider-Man, she's making fucking moves and calls in the field that, like, a seasoned vet would. I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
understand, like, what's going on here all of a sudden. I was like, yes, I'll give her the edge a little bit in the sense that she's been with Peter and she knows this life or what happens with this kind of shit for a while. Like, she has more knowledge than just some random person maybe getting powers all of a sudden because she's been part of the superhero community. I'll say that much. But like, come on now, man. Like, I mean, you can't just fucking get powers and like, like you're dealing with like, like fucking like she was like with the Avengers, I swear, in one book or so. Oh no,
yeah,
Gang War. She's mixing it up with like, you know what I mean? Like Shang-Chi and fucking like, what are you doing there? Like, what are
yeah,
you like? You have
it's
no right
crazy.
being there. Like, it's ridiculous.
Like her storyline should be her still trying to live her life, and then
Luke
shit
Cage,
happens to her that she needs to use these powers. She should be actively out there,
training.
patrolling or whatever. It's
Or
crazy.
training, yeah, or training, or yeah, I just find that they're like, let's skip all that and just give her powers, and now she's like one of us. Now
Yeah, like you
I don't
said,
know.
that would have even been a better storyline here with Black Cat, reluctantly training Jackpot. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That would make more sense.
I just don't know why they haven't gone with that storyline like that. Yeah, they've done it a lot, but it would make a hell of a lot of sense right now if you did it for this character too. It just, it's she should have some sort. Maybe that's what they'll lead up to. I think I hope so. I hope like something happens and they're like, you know what, you need some training. Like you can't just fucking be out there in the field. Like if that's what happens in Amazing Spider-Man and Peter, like something happens to Mary, because at this point I just feel like they're leading up to killing her and it's gonna fucking ruin Peter because that's something that happens in Spider-Man comics. It's just like let's fucking do something horrible to this guy. You know what I
They
mean?
did
Like
that, I wouldn't be shedding a tear there. The way they just
that's what
destroyed everything.
that's what I'm saying. So I don't know. What'd you give this?
I 3.5 wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought this would be a freaking 3 or 2.75. Coming after that whatever that Jackpot special. I regretted freaking pulling this, so now I'm not regretting it as much.
I'll give it a 3.5 for the art. I thought the art was decent for this. Yes, yeah, I'll give it that. Maybe 3.25, but yeah, I think that's what I gave Harley this week, and I like the art a lot more in this book. So yeah, I'll give it to that. It's 3.5. All right, finally, Amazing Spider-Man number 46 this week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Freaking
Carmen
amazing
Carne.
JR cover.
Then we got Carmen Carnero in the and some other oh no, that's the guest yeah, Carmen Carnero was the guest artist on this issue instead of JRJR Interiors.
Yeah,
What'd you think of this?
I'm loving all these guest artists. I don't care who they are. So far, they've been all great.
This was
And
great.
this story here too. Like I know I was bagging on the Sinister Six, but the way they brought him in here, or whatever Zeb Wells is doing with the story, having the Sinister Six sort of, having their group meeting before they figure out what's going on, and they seem to be loyal to Sandman. I'm surprised they didn't just say, hey, let's go just grab somebody else, but it's kind of a good storyline there. And they did have some interactions between Peter Parker and Mary Jane, which I'm almost a sucker for that. But once again, freaking the story kind of goes sideways there with once again Mary Jane's these power sets or whatever. That's kind of crazy, but overall it was better than I thought it'd be, and I'm looking forward to more of the Sinister Six stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you're turning a corner on that because like last issue you were kind of weren't so hot on the Sinister Six idea. That sounded wrong. There's Sinister Sex happening in this issue. It'd be a lot more interesting between him and Mary Jane. It came close. He's kind of like inner world again here a little bit. Like this kind of is bringing them a little close. Unfortunately, Paul would hear it in the headpiece if they ain't getting it.
Well, maybe that's why I like these interactions before, because there's no Paul in this at all, I think.
But he's in the earpiece. Don't forget, he's like the he's the guy behind the chair, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really really enjoy this issue. I thought Carmen Carnero was a great artist on this issue. I love the Sinister Six storyline so far. I'm a big fan of them, and I kind of like this whole I'm a fan of and it seems to be Sandman a lot too. The criminal trying to do right and can't because
Yeah.
there's another part of him or his lifestyle or something comes up where it's just classic fucking Spider-Man where it's just like this guy's trying to reform and something happens
Yeah,
and
he
he
just
can't.
can't do it no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I mean, as much as that trope is overused in Spider-Man over the years, it just feels like classic Spider-Man to me. Like, and I feel like it's been a while since we've seen that. Like, I mean, yes, we did have Green Goblin, but like that was not even his choice that time. Like that was like because of some shit that happened where you know what I mean. They kind of reversed. They took away all his sins or whatever, right? And
Yeah.
and that maybe was not something he was looking to. And even that now it's questionable what's going to go on with him. But like this is just like another part of Sandman is not allowing him. The Flint Marko part is not allowing him to be on the straight and narrow, which I kind of love that idea, right? So and I like the whole way he escaped. So yeah, good stuff. I'm so happy that after Gang War, we're in a fucking great direction with this book again. This is a good arc so far, as I'm concerned.
Yeah, like why can't get one of these freaking guest artists there to stay a bit longer? They're not like doing anything else. JR, come on.
What'd you give this?
I'll give it a 3.75 though. Still not super great.
Yeah, I liked it more than you then. I think I gave it a 4.25. Maybe no, 4. I'll give it a 4.
Yeah, I can give it a 4, but
yeah. All right, so we're done with the books that we want to talk about this week.
Okay, there's one more book I did want to talk about. I kind of just read this one on a whim. It was Savage Dragon.
Oh,
I don't know what number it was. Like, I don't know if you're familiar. Like, I'm not familiar with Savage Dragon at all. It was just kind of there online, so I wanted to read it. And that's a wacky comic. I don't know if that's supposed to be a parody comic or what's going on in there. But there is, like, Mickey Mouse was in there, and he was trying to freaking sexually grope people. There's like Savage Dragon. I guess he's running. He moved to San Francisco and he's running with a new team. And basically, these are all parodies of either Marvel or DC characters. There's like a Wonder Woman character. There's one character that looks exactly like Wolverine, but it doesn't have the pointy hair. But he doesn't have Wolverine's power sets. There's these two Spider Women characters and their costume is basically just scantily clad spider webs. and I'm not sure if I looked at this right, but the webs come out of their crotch. Like I guess a spider would.
No, I believe it.
I'm like, what the heck is this? When I was reading, I go, what the heck is this? I might have to, I think the next cover was you see Mickey Mouse there. I guess now, and like they do refer to him as Mickey Mouse because I guess that now that he's off trademark, as long as they use the old style Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie, which I guess they did.
Yes.
I just thought it was just wacky. It wasn't like, I've sort of, I don't know if I've read much Savage Dragon, but I've heard a lot about it, and I always thought it was more of a like the gritty sort of kind of comic. But I guess it changes its tones as the years go by.
Yeah,
so or issues go from one to another.
Yeah, so I've just actually recently started reading it because like they've been putting out collections from the start. Like they've been reprinting like the hardcover like in hardcover. Like I think there's 2 volumes of it out so far, like from the early days of the Image 90s when Erik Larsen left Marvel and started doing this series. And I had only read a couple of issues here and there before. And you're right, it is more that like kind of 90s gritty kind of like action vibe at that point in the 90s. But then from what I've heard, and I've heard of this before, as time goes on, Erik Larsen, I guess, just gets bored now. And because he's been doing the fucking book for over
just does whatever he wants, I guess.
Yeah, and there's like hardcore sex in it now. And like you said, I heard that this was going on with the Mickey Mouse thing. I haven't read it because I just feel like maybe I'd be lost. But to your point, like I've heard people have just been jumping in and just like having a blast with it still, like without having knowing like what comes, because it's not even the original Savage Dragon now, it's his son, or maybe now he's back. I heard. That's what I mean. I've heard these things. I've heard a lot of shit that's been going on lately because it was his son for a while because the old Savage Dragon died, and I believe he's back now. So like, yeah, it's kind of, there's some interesting things going on in that book. So that's pretty crazy. I heard about that. Yeah, because now anybody can do like all like the Disney characters. Like there's a lot of them now that you can do that shit with because it's what do they call it when it's open?
Yeah, they're off copyright or off trademark.
Yeah. So yeah, I seen that they're doing horror Winnie the Pooh movies now. I don't know if you've seen that because they're able to do that. So like everyone's taking advantage, I think, of that fact, and that's kind of funny that he thought of putting him in the title, right? But the fact that exists in this world is fucking crazy. So, but yeah, that's a wacky comic book for sure. I'm glad. So you think you're gonna be reading it now or what? Because
I might give it a couple issues and see where these stories go if it piques my interest.
All right, next time it comes out, give me a heads up, and then we'll throw it on the list if you're going to continue. That's hilarious. So thank you for that the update on that. So yeah, so that's going to do it for what we want to talk about this week, guys. Before we get to what we're picking up next week and our favorite book of the week, let's talk about some new comic solicitations here. Didn't have time for it last week, but yeah, let's bring that up here. I think we're going to do Marvel first here. And this is for the June 2024 comic solicitations. And as always, shout out to comicreleases.com. We don't have any affiliation with this site, but I find it's a good site to show the previews on. So that's the one we use. So check it out. They're kind of usually pretty good up to date in terms of like when things are coming out. Some of these solicits, though, I wouldn't say they always upload the covers in time. It's kind of what's available, I think, at the time when they do it. But I think over time they probably update it. But anyways, all right, single issues here for Marvel, June 2024. First up, we got Deadpool and Wolverine, World War III, number 2 of 3. Yes.
Oh yeah, you're buying it? I might be reading it, but we'll see where it goes. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I'm buying it. I mean, I like when these two characters cross over. So, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe Facsimile edition. No, I've read that series. Oh, that's fun. Deadpool number 3. Yes. I mean, no. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just the Deadpool Wolverine for me. Yeah. Blood Hunt number 3 of 5. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to follow the main story. There's just way too much other stuff going on. I don't think I'm touching any of it.
Same, but I am getting these ones, the red band ones.
Yeah, I'm getting the red band.
Yeah, edition. Same. Which is apparently just gives you a couple of extra issues of too strong of content to put in the regular book. So we'll see what that's all about. But I'm getting the red band ones as well. Yeah, good stuff. Blood Hunt 3 and 4 come out this month. So yes. Yeah. Yeah, and then like Chris said, I'm not gonna be picking up any of the actual tie-in issues either. Maybe depending on how big the week is, I might read something online. I'm not sure. Maybe this Dracula one, that kind of, since it's Dracula, maybe piques my interest. We'll see. And like Midnight Suns, like these characters that kind of fall into place with the vampire stuff. I kind of
Yeah.
do like that like idea of checking those out possibly, but otherwise I don't think I'm gonna bother with any of these. So yeah, so we got Dracula Blood Hunt number 2, Midnight Suns Blood Hunt number 2 of 3, Black Panther Blood Hunt number 2 of 3, Strange Academy Blood Hunt number 2 of 3, no. Union Jack the Ripper Blood Hunt number 2 of 3, Blood Hunters 2 of 4. Yeah, like Chris said, too much fucking books here. So you know what? This might be one I actually check out. I take it back. I might check this out. I don't think I'm gonna be picking it up, but I might read it online. Wolverine Blood Hunt number 1 of 4. I really like the artist on this. Wanho's Rip. That's the guy who did like a couple of the arcs on the Wolverine book with Ben Percy. So yeah, I might check that out. Tom Waltz writing it. He wrote some Ninja Turtles more recently. Yeah, okay, I might check that out. Number 2, 1 and 2. Jubilee number 1, no. X-Men Blood Hunt Magic number 1, no.
They put a sweet cover there that could have got me, but it didn't.
This one or the Peach Momoko one? This one?
Either there's nothing.
The
Nothing
Momoko
great.
one's pretty fucking good too, actually. I do like this Peach Momoko one.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man Blood Hunt number 2 of 3. All right, Venom 34. You
I
out?
might be back in Venom.
Okay. Al Ewing's back. Looks like what's her name's gone. Torrin Grunback's not on the book here. Yeah. It is a Blood Hunt tie-in though. So
yeah, I'll probably get that.
Miles Morales, Spider-Man 21, no. Avengers 15, no. Fantastic 421. Yeah, I'll probably read it online. Oh, that's a nice cover though, Art Adams one. That's nice. Yeah, I like that. Doctor Strange 16. Yes. I like this series a lot. Jed McKay. Vengeance of the Moon Knight 6. I will probably read this online or in trade, but it's been good. X-Men 35 Legacy 700. Yes.
Yeah.
This cover all the fucking way. That's an awesome cover. Yeah, I got the trading card one, and yeah, no, it's got to be that other one. End of an era, Uncanny X-Men 700. Yeah, Scarlet Witch number 1. Looks like I guess after the miniseries, the series is coming back. The current Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver miniseries. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I've switched to trade on this series. I've been reading the current miniseries, but I don't think I'll be getting back into the issues. So if anything, I might just read it online. We'll see.
Yeah, like 3 number 1s in the last years. Come on.
Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime number 1. Yes. I'm all in. Some good covers, some really fucking good covers for this too. This is important because this is the first time, even though Disney owns Marvel, that they've done the official like Marvel Disney like Uncle Scrooge comic essentially, because they've been doing all the Disney Uncle Scrooge stuff over at IDW for years, and they got Jason Aaron writing this one. So yeah, I'm in. I mean, they're gonna do some sort of Infinity storyline here with Uncle Scrooge. I'm too curious to see what the hell this is all about. So yeah, this is the first appearance of Scrooge McDuck by Disney Comics. Oh no, it has the first, but this is still, I think, also possibly the first time Marvel has been doing an issue of Uncle Scrooge. So that's pretty cool. Are you in on that or what, Chris?
I'm not in on that. Sorry.
Ultimates number 1. Yes.
Yeah, in for that for sure.
I think I'm gonna go with the Stegman cover here. This one. I like that one.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
The second one. Definitely a team cover. That one there, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Ultimate Black Panther 5, no. Ultimate Spider-Man 6, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Ultimate X-Men 4. You know what? I might continue reading this online. I really liked that first issue. It was weird and different, but and I didn't realize that was Armor at the time that we read that. I guess that's apparently who this girl's supposed to be. Again, very loosely an X-Men book, but I did like it. It's not very much an X-Men book, but I liked it. Thanos Annual number 1.
I don't know.
I might just read this one online.
Yeah,
I
all the
gotta check
Burma
out.
fan up there. All these, life changing stories that don't end up doing anything.
Venomverse Reborn #1. No.
No,
X-Men Heir of Apocalypse.
no.
No. 1 and 2. X-Men 97 4 of 4. No. Wolverine Madripoor Knights 5 of 5. No. Ms. Marvel Mutant Menace 4 of 4. No. And Chris, I guess this answers our question. Invincible Iron Man 19, and this is continuing the War Machine story where we left him off in prison, I guess,
Yeah,
back. And it looks like they are going to continue with the book past X-Men.
I'm glad they're
That's
going to do
good.
that. I'll probably grab this for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna read this. I mean, I don't pick this up I picked this up in trade, but I'm happy that they're continuing because I know we weren't really sure if they were gonna end it with issue 18 previously, so that's
Yeah.
good. War Machine versus Iron Man. Helverine #2. You in on this?
No,
Yeah,
but
me
that
neither.
Wolverine cover from that Ghost Rider thing, that's supposed to be a pretty decent cover.
That one? Yeah.
No, like the original one with where I guess Wolverine was, I guess, first introduced with.
Oh, yeah. That's right. The first appearance, technically, right? Yeah. Get Fury #2. Yes.
I think I'm just be reading this online.
Oh man, you're making a mistake, Chris. I'm telling you. That's gonna be the comic of the year right there. Amazing Spider-Man, Facsimile, Marvel Superheroes, Secret Wars #6, Facsimile, Godzilla, Facsimile, Amazing Spider-Man 51. Yes.
Yeah, that's a nice cover there. That
First
first one.
one? Yeah. And then 52, which could be a speculative issue. I'm not sure.
It's the A cover too, so I can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, because that's like hinting at the Green Goblin, but who the hell knows what that's going to be?
Yeah.
It kind of says this issue is so shocking and troubling, we can't even show you the cover. So yeah,
Oof, that's good.
Kid Venom, no.
No.
Jackpot and Black Cat.
Yes.
Yeah, you're in on that. #4. Oh, Phil
But,
Noto, your boy.
yeah.
Phil Noto on the cover there. There you go.
Well,
4 of
they're
4.
knocking out of the park with the covers.
Spider Gwen, the Ghost Spider, no. Spider Woman 8, no. Symbiote
Oh,
Spider-Man 2099, 4 of 5, no. Spectacular Spider-Men. I think I'm dropping this.
I might
Yeah,
read it, but
I might read it, but I think I'm dropping the issues. But yeah, because I was just looking at my pull list the other day. I was trying to trim a couple titles. Just doesn't make the cut.
it's
Superior
crazy.
Spider-Man Superior Spider-Man #8. No. Are you still reading that?
I'll probably still read it.
Spider-Boy #8.
No.
What If Venom #5. No.
No.
Venom Separation Anxiety. No. Giant Size Daredevil 1. No. Incredible Hulk 13. No. How about Thor? Where are you at with Thor?
Maybe I'll still stick with Thor. See what they're doing here.
Okay.
The
Thor
Rock cover, can't go wrong with those.
Immortal Thor 12. Captain Marvel 9. No. Spider-Man Shadow of the Green Goblin #3. No. Captain America 10. I'm out now after that last fucking issue.
I
Was like
still look
fucking
more the same.
yeah. Black Widow and Hawkeye #4. No. I read the first issue, wasn't interested.
Yeah.
Sensational She-Hulk 9. Yeah, I'll still read this.
Yeah, I'll still keep on reading it.
Yeah, I'll probably keep reading it online. I pick up the trades of that. Daredevil #10. No. Your boy JRJR.
I know. Fuck, Jesus Christ.
Ghost Rider Final Vengeance #4. No. Carnage
No.
8. No. Aliens What If #4 or 5. No. And then we get into Star Wars, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's it for the Marvel. Not too much, honestly,
Well, a lot of it's taken up by the Blood Hunt, so
That's true. Yeah. They don't like working in the summer, so they're like, "What event could we bust down for us here?"
yeah.
All right, moving on to DC. June solicits. All right.
Yeah, I don't think DC is a big month either.
All right. Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age #1. Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I'm in for this. I like this era of
Well, I think that
Batman.
cover there for sure.
The Catwoman one? Yeah, that
Yeah.
looks pretty fucking good. Yeah, I like the Gotham by Gaslight kind of Jack the Ripper kind of era. Old Victorian England or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, I like
We have
that.
a little light on this DC this month, anyways, too. So I'll probably pick that up.
And if you never read the original Gotham by Gaslight, this is actually a really good pickup for these facsimiles. Some of these aren't worth it because they're just random issues of things, but this actually is the complete original story. You got early Mike Mignola art on here, who's the creator of Hellboy, who I love his art, and P. Craig Russell as well. I think that inked him possibly on this or just did art in it as well. This is really good. This is a good one shot. If you guys are interested in that Gotham by Gaslight, this is really good stuff. I like this. Chris, even you, if you've never read this is worth
No,
checking
I
out.
have that. I have
You
the
have that?
original.
Oh, nice. So do I. So do I. Yeah, that's good stuff. DC Pride 2024. No.
No.
DC Pride, a celebration of Rachel Pollack. No. Oh yeah, because that creator, right? Oh, I guess this is this Pride month when this is coming out, I guess. So you got a bunch of books there. DC Pride Uncovered #1. Harley Quinn 41. Yes, unfortunately.
Maybe that Lyrics League cover. There's one of those guys. Not this one, but the next one there.
That's
The
a good
different
cover.
but
Yeah.
we'll
And if
see.
you're into the Francavilla backups, you got a cover there too. And that was a Nightwing, I think, right? That kind of looks like the same type of vibe they're going for there. Poison Ivy 23. No.
No.
This is still a popular fucking series. I'm surprised it went this long, honestly. Suicide Squad Dream Team #4. No. Outsiders 8. No. Batman 148. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're leading up to 150, so big doings are gonna
Yeah.
happen, I'm sure.
Good stuff.
And Batman 149, yes, as well. Take a look at the covers here. Yeah, nothing special there. I'll probably just get the A cover. Detective Comics 1086. I think this is ending his Ram V. I think is ending his run around this time, if I'm not mistaken. Nightwing 115. Yes.
I thought this guy was supposed to be. I thought Tom Taylor was done on this. Like, how long is he stretching out his last arc?
He is. It says Fallen Grayson, part 2 of 5. This is the last arc.
Yeah, part 2 of 5. So that means there's 3 more. I thought he'd be done by this. I'll probably grab this, though.
Quit your whining over there.
And say you're done, and then freaking do it for 6 more months.
That's when you have to make the announcement several months ahead of time. Batman and Robin #10. I mean, he's probably already written it. He is probably done. Batman and Robin #10. No. Batman the Brave and the Bold 14. No. Catwoman 66. You in for this?
Yeah, probably still at whatever 9 Live storyline that's going for like 20 issues. But yeah, that cover there. That's another, I think, Villa Lobos there.
This one?
This one, yeah.
Yeah. What else we got here? Birds of Prey 10. Yes.
No, I'll still be reading it. It's good stuff.
Oh, I like that cover. That's pretty good. Yeah, good covers. The Penguin 11. No. Red Hood, The Hill, #5. No. Batman, Superman, World's Finest. Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, I think I'm out.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'll stick around for this arc. Oh, is that a Bruce? No, it's kind of looks like a.
No, I think Nathan 30 or something.
Yeah, that's good. My Adventures with Superman #1. I don't even know what this is. No.
I think it's based off the cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Going out.
Right. Yeah. Hit Adult Swim animated series. That's cool. But no, I'm okay. I'm not gonna check it out, but that's neat. Wonder Woman 10. Yes.
Yes.
That's a good cover.
Yeah,
I'll probably go to the main cover, yeah. Action Comics 1066. No.
Is that still the Brainiac stuff? I think I'm in there for that.
Yes. Yeah. House of Brainiac Part 5. So you're in, yeah.
Yeah.
Take a look at a couple of the covers here.
Yeah, they could have some better covers. That one's not bad.
Lobo. Superman 15, Part 6 of the House of Brainiac.
Yeah,
so you're in on that. That sucks, that cover. I'm sorry.
These are all brutal covers for Superman.
Green Lantern 12. No. Power Girl 10, no.
I might get this the tie-in.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Power Girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they got the female Lobo there. What's her name? Crush, I think it is. Yeah. Sinister Sons number 5, no. Kneel Before Zod 6, no. The Flash 10, Titans 12. I'll continue reading Titans Online.
Yeah.
Hell Comes for Bloodhaven. Okay, yeah. You got to involve it in Nightwing because it's not not as interesting on its own. Green Arrow 13. No, this is originally supposed to be a 12-issue series. It looks like they've ditched that as well because it was popular. Which, okay, that's cool. Green Lantern War Journal number 10. No. Blue Beetle 10. No. Shazam 12. No, I'm done with this now. It's no longer Mark Waid and Dan Mora, so I'm done with the book. Justice Society of America 11. Again, I think I'm done reading it online. I'll probably just wait for the trade, but there's some good stuff happening here, but not enough to keep me going and reading it even online at this point. Batman 89 Echoes number 4. No. The Boy Wonder 2. I might be reading this online. It's supposed to be like, some interesting artists doing that series. So we'll see. Just John Constantine, Hellblazer, Dead in America number 6. Waiting for the trade. This I'm all in on. Zatanna, Bring Down the House.
Oh yeah.
I love fucking Javier Rodriguez, the artist. He's fucking fantastic.
I think there's an art term cover there too. I don't think they have it posted, but there's one in there.
Yes, that's the one I'm pre-ordering, and it's a regular
art. You can buy one blind. That's freaking Money in the Bank.
Yes, I've already pre-ordered it. Yeah, it's already done. Paid in cash. Yeah, Zatanna, Bring Down the House. This is 1 of 5. I'm all in on this.
It's 1 of 5?
Yeah.
I thought it was just a one shot. Wow.
Yeah. I have high hopes for this book. I mean, I like Zatanna as a character. She doesn't get a series all too often, and the artist is really good, Chris. I can vouch for that. Okay. I think this is going to be worth it. And that this is going to have fire covers every issue. Like, honestly. So I'm in. Batman and Robin and Howard number 4, no. Primer 4, no. Batman Scooby 6, no. Scooby 128, no. Mad, and that's it. Then you get a facsimile here. That's it here on this DC. Very quickly, I do want to just check out one thing here. I did want to point something out here. I think it's an Image. Yes, there's something worth mentioning here in Image solicitation.
Oh, there's also I think in Dark Horse is Nemesis in June.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah. Okay. So a couple of notable things. We're not going to go through all the Image stuff here, but I did want to mention a couple of notable books here. If you were interested in continuing with the G.I. Joe Energon stuff, Destro number 1 is launching in June from Dan Waters and Andre Bresson. I'm in. I'm still in. I'm still in on this. Sick fucking cover. I really like that cover. The first one here. So I'm in on this. I'm really interested in this book too, Falling in Love on the Path to Hell, number 1 by Jerry Duggan and Gary Brown, creators I really enjoy. That's really good. Whether or not I check this out in issues or just read it online, pick up the trade, but I'm very much interested in this book, so I wanted to mention it. I might pick up the first issue. It's a double length first issue, so I will probably pick up the first issue at the very least. And then you got Scarlet number 1 by Kelly Thompson, who I'm a huge fan of. So I'm definitely in on this as well. Some good covers for this one as well. Probably go with that first one. Actually, no, I'd probably go with this one. I think this one's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll probably go with that second one. So yeah, good stuff. I'm really looking forward to those. So yeah, those are the main books I kind of wanted to highlight that are coming out from Image in June, like new titles that are coming out. I think otherwise it's a lot of the same of things that are already coming out and that we've been reading. And then as Chris mentioned, going over quickly to the Dark Horse solicitations for June. Take a quick look here. So there was some news a while ago that we didn't cover that for whatever reason, Mark Millar had ended his contract with Image, who were printing all of his Millarverse books, and he's bringing everything over to Dark Horse. Now, I'm sure he probably maybe was able, once negotiation time came up, he was able to get a better contract over here, I guess, for doing his creator-owned titles. Maybe he gets more, money back from them selling over at Dark Horse. I'm not sure. But it's a big pickup for Dark Horse, honestly, because I mean, we're at least still very interested in his books. And then, yeah, as Chris mentioned here, you got Nemesis Rogues Gallery #1, which is I guess a continuation of Nemesis outside of Big Game, where this is where the last time that we saw him in the Millerverse here. And Jay Lee cover, that's really fucking sick. I mean, I usually pick his shit up and trade, but I might be tempted to grab the issues of this one. This looks really good. So yeah, looking forward to that. Different artists on Nemesis this time around. And Chris, you walked off there for a moment, but are you in or out on the new Image G.I. Joe miniseries, Scarlet or?
Yeah, I'm going for Destro and Scarlet. I think that Scarlet one's going to have. I think the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow are going to be part of that story. She's fighting some ninjas or something. What they're talking about, the solicitations. So I think that's going to be the kind of the surprise in there.
Yeah. Kelly Thompson is writing it, and the Destro one looks fucking really good too. The cover of it, I'm in on both of those. Yeah, so that's cool. I was interested to see if you were in on those. So yeah, I'm in for another round of this. This Energon stuff's been good. Okay, so that being said, Chris, what are you looking forward to picking up next week, man?
That's a pretty light week next week. I think I got Venom 32, X-Men 33, Batman 146. Sacrificer 7, and there might be a few odds and ends that I read, but I didn't really see too much out there next week.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some books I probably will choose to read online. We'll see what those are all about next week because I don't have that stuff written down here necessarily, but still a few books I'm picking up physical release of here. So let me just bring that up. Yeah, I got Batman 146, Birds of Prey #8, Doctor Strange 14, Kea 17, if that still comes out next week. It's on here anyways. Then we got Sacrificers #7. That's a return of that series after the first arc. We're very much looking forward to that. Void Rivals #8 and X-Men 33. I think I have that here. Yeah. So yeah, so about 6 or 7 books there I got next week. So yeah, a good mix of different titles there. So looking forward to those for sure. All right, Chris. What was your favorite book of the week this week?
That's hard to say this week. Like there's a lot of good comics, but nothing that really stood out. And I might just have to give it to Ultimate Spider-Man 3.
Yeah. It's been a while in the last little while, maybe even this new year, Chris. I think that it's been a while since I think we've agreed on the same book, but it is also Ultimate Spider-Man #3 for this week, just because I had the most fun reading it. I will say though, as a runner-up, I'd give it to Zorro. Zorro actually almost took it for me this week, just because, like I said, it's probably the best looking book I've read this week outside of Ultimate Spider-Man as well, being one of those. But Zorro's been really fucking good. I didn't think I'd ever say that about a Zorro book, but that's just a testament to Sean Murphy's story there and the art. But Ultimate Spider-Man #3. Yeah, like it's like I said, I just like spending time in that world in that book. So I kind of I look forward every time it comes out. So there you have it, guys. Ultimate Spider-Man 3, our favorite book of the week this week. And we'll catch you back here next week, guys, for another episode. Thank you for tuning in as always. And we'll see you then. Thanks, guys.
All right. Take it easy.